It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't a cosmic accident. It was Earth, tearing itself apart from the inside out. For millions of years, life had conquered every corner of the planet. Forests stretched across continents, oceans teemed with life, and strange beasts ruled the land. Then, in a geological instant, everything died. This is the story of the day Earth turned against itself, the Great Dying, when the planet tried to destroy itself. 252 million years ago, long before dinosaurs, Earth was one vast supercontinent, Pangaea, a single endless landmass surrounded by the superocean Panthalassa. Across its deserts and coasts lived the ancestors of almost everything that would one day walk, fly, or crawl again. From the first mammal-like reptiles to the earliest forests, the world was hot but balanced. Dry inland plains, swamps near the coasts, coral reefs exploding with life. On the surface, it looked like paradise. But deep beneath, pressure was building. Far below Siberia, magma was rising. A supervolcano, not one mountain but thousands, waited to awaken, and when it did, it would drown the planet in fire. Imagine the world then. The sky, a harsh, hazy blue. The air, thick with warmth. No flowers yet, no grass, only ferns, mosses, and towering conifers. Predators like gorgonops, with saber-like teeth and reptilian eyes, stalked herds of lumbering dicynodonts across cracked red soil. Rivers shimmered through fern forests, and dragonflies the size of crows buzzed above. And then, the first tremors, small, subtle, but deep. Days turned hotter, winds changed, and across the northern edge of Pangaea, the land began to split. What was coming wasn't an eruption, it was an earth bleed, a rupture that would last 2 million years. It began in Siberia, a region that would become ground zero for the greatest extinction in Earth's history. The Siberian traps erupted with a fury no human mind can truly grasp. Imagine a wall of lava taller than skyscrapers, stretching from horizon to horizon, pouring for centuries without pause. Over 3 million cubic miles of molten rock, enough to bury the entire United States under a mile of lava. The air filled with ash and sulfur. The skies glowed orange even at midnight. The world began to choke. Carbon dioxide levels skyrocketed. Temperatures soared by 10 degrees Celsius. Forests burned until there was nothing left to burn. Rain turned to acid. Rivers carried poison, and the oceans, once clear and alive, began to suffocate. At first, only the weakest species died, then the strong, then everything. Before dinosaurs ever walked the earth, there was Dimetrodon, a reptile with a massive sail along its back, using it to regulate its body heat. It was the first great land predator, the ruler of its ecosystem. But when volcanic gases thickened the air, even this apex hunter struggled. Prey vanished. Water dried up. Every breath became heavier. Fossils show signs of starvation, even cannibalism. The king had turned on its own kind. Then came Lystrosaurus, the odd, tusked creature often called Earth's first survivor. It looked like a pig with a turtle's face, slow and clumsy, yet somehow it endured. When others fell, it burrowed. When food vanished, it ate roots and soil. When air thinned, it adapted. It would become one of the few creatures to cross the extinction boundary, a stubborn reminder that survival favors the adaptable, not the mighty. The Gorgonopsid, one of the deadliest predators of the Permian, stood nearly as tall as a lion, with saber teeth made for tearing flesh. It ruled the dry plains until the sky itself became poison. Oxygen levels dropped to near suffocation. Heat waves never ended. Its prey were gone. The rivers turned to dust, and even its shadow vanished under the endless haze. One by one, they collapsed under the sun, the last predators of a dying Earth. Underwater, the nightmare deepened. Volcanic gases dissolved into the oceans, creating acid that ate away at shells and coral. Oxygen levels plummeted. A dead zone spread through the depths. Trilobites, which had survived every disaster since the Cambrian, finally disappeared forever. Coral reefs, gone. Ammonites, gone. Fish floated lifeless in seas that had turned green, then purple, then black. It was as if the planet had reversed creation itself, a full biological reset. And then, Earth changed color. The oceans released hydrogen sulfide gas, a deadly toxin that killed nearly all remaining life. Skies turned violet, seas emerald, and the air unbreathable. Rain carried death. Lightning struck toxic clouds. From space, Earth might have looked like a diseased world, glowing with fire and rot. It wasn't just extinction, it was erasure. 90% of marine species, 70% of land species, entire forests gone, roots and all. For a moment in deep time, Earth became a ghost planet. But the story didn't end there. And then, silence. For millions of years, silence. The land healed slowly. Volcanoes quieted. The skies cleared. Tiny creatures, burrowers, scavengers, survivors, emerged. Among them, Lystrosaurus still crawling across the wasteland. It had lived through what 90% could not. From these ashes, evolution rebooted. New reptiles rose. The first dinosaurs. New forests grew, tougher and faster. Earth was learning how to breathe again. It had burned itself nearly to death. But in doing so, it had made way for the next stage of life. Without the great dying, there might never have been dinosaurs. And without dinosaurs, and there might never have been us. But this wasn't the only time Earth lost control. Because millions of years later, the skies fell again. And this time, it wasn't fire that killed life. It was ice. Because the past was never silent. It was screaming.